the greatest podcast of all time. And Create a Pro was such a fundamental part of becoming Savage, going to all the shows, supporting Busted Open, supporting Bully Ray, watching him work with the students, the kids, the place where MJF came from. He was so good with the fans, so good with the kids, in tremendous shape. At that point, that's the best shape I had ever seen him in. And then guess what? He's in even better shape now. So big shout out to Bully Ray, Matt Cardona, Brian Myers, everybody from Create a Pro. Aaron Rourke is a star. They make stars like MJF. It's true. I got to talk to MJF. I got to meet MJF. I now know MJF's father. I know his mother. And Max, you better be nice to your mom. Next Mother's Day, she better get a tremendous present, because if she calls me up and says anything other than that, we are going to have issues, Max. I told you. Soon enough, you will see the Savage Kingdom and you will feel the Savage Kingdom. But on another note, it was awesome to tell your mom that you were going to win that championship, and then we watched you win it and become one of the best heels in the business today. I mean, you inspired me just like David LaGreca did, maybe even more so, because you have everything it takes. You're amongst all these greats. You have the stuff that legends are made of, and that's why I started collecting. I collect figures of wrestlers that I love and respect and admire and have stories and history with. And then I went to ISPW in New Jersey, and I saw Alpha Jr. wrestle for the first time. Samoan Dynasty, Bloodline member. I mean, the son of Alpha, half of the Wild Samoans, one of the greatest, most powerful tag teams of all time. He is part of the Bloodline. And watching him wrestle at ISPW was a life-changing event. Seeing Maven there, Bull James, shout out to everybody. Shout out to Tommy Fierro and the whole Front Row Mafia and all the crew and fans from ISPW, man. Rick Recon's a star. Sorry about that DDT, Bull James. My God, another DDT from Tommy Dreamer. You go to ISPW, family fun, great professional wrestling from the ladies like Vicious Vicky or Tina San Antonio, and Busted Open was always well represented at ISPW, and this was the place where I met Alpha Jr., and I asked him to come on my podcast. We went out for Greek food, and we started to talk. We started to get close. We started to become friends, and something started cooking, and it cooked very well, and it's still cooking. I don't know if he wants to admit it, but Alpha Jr. is certainly a big part of me becoming Savage.
Greek Savage, man. Well, he certainly knows how to get attention in any room that he walks into. I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's usually one of the qualities that people look for, so he has that going for him.
Accepting Alpha Jr.'s invite, I went down to the battlefield and I got familiar with the staff. He gave me an opportunity to do commentary that night, and I did. I thought I did a pretty tremendous job, say so myself. But at the end of the day, it was a learning experience. He looked at me and said, next time, come in a suit. And from that moment forward, I made sure not only did I have a suit, but I had a suit for every month of the year. Then I started going to Outlaw Wrestling because Alpha was the heavyweight champion there as well, having bangers with guys like Homicide. His cousin Jacob Batu was coming through, Speedball Bailey. Outlaw does some really good shows. Check them out. They do shows in Brooklyn and in Queens, and they bring legends like Mark Henry, who, by the way, said he thinks I have a future in this business. But you can see the transition. I was at Outlaw. I was doing interviews. I was promoting Wrestling with Savage. Alpha tells me to get a suit. You get suits. You get 12 suits. You get 20 suits. Commentary, my first time ever at the battlefield, will always be special in my heart, working with a guy like Phil Insane. Tom over here can't do anything right without proper direction, and even with proper direction, he actually does a worse job. But working at the battlefield, bringing them cake and cookies from Martha's Country Bakery, because they inspired me to be great. They inspired me to be Savage. Everyone I worked with on the